Hi, Annie.
Hi, Kerrie. Hi, Gail. Hi, Maria.
Hello, everybody. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. People think we've rehearsed this.
I know. Funny that.
They should know better.
Exactly. Exactly. Hope everyone's had a glorious day today. Yes, happy Easter, Gail. Nice
Oh,
to see
hi,
everyone
Les. I
jumping
was
on.
wished Happy Easter in Spanish from one of my friends, and I had
Bon
to look up.
Pascha.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I had to look it up, though.
Hi, Denise.
Oh, there's glorious Nate.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Nate.
Glorious. Little does Nate know that we're talking a bit about him tonight.
Is
Well,
it
he
going to
does
be
know.
famous?
He does know because I asked his permission. So he doesn't know what we're going to say, though. So it's a lesson in trust.
He'll be fine.
Hope everyone's enjoying their long weekend, and we've still got another day off tomorrow.
Yes.
And had a lovely day today. And I'm wearing my now this might be backwards for you, I'm not sure. God is greater than the highs and the lows. That's what it says on my t-shirt. So there you go.
It actually reads straight.
Does it?
I
So
just,
you can see
yeah.
it? Yep. Not
I'm just
sure.
in my config stripy top. All it needs is arrows. Oh, hi, Dan.
Hello, Dan. Okay, well, welcome everybody. We've got a really interesting topic tonight of oneness. But what I'm going to do to get us all in the right energy space to talk about this is we're just going to go through a breathing technique together. And we find that by doing that sort of small relaxation, meditation, breathing technique with everyone when we start, we're actually connecting everyone with us and with the energy of when we get together on these Sundays. So we're going to start with that tonight. So if you would like to sit comfortably so that you're comfortable, and I'm just going to ask you to take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Don't try to force it in any way. Just let it come and go naturally. Now, in your mind's eye, if you will, see or feel that you are breathing in air of white luminous light. With each in-breath, you are breathing in this light. And with each out-breath, you feel any stress or tensions within your body let go. Breathe in the white light, cleansing and energizing you. Breathe out, let go of any tensions. Now, in your mind's eye, if you will, picture yourself standing outside, looking up at the beautiful pink full moon. It's huge tonight, shining its light down on all of us. Because it's also reflecting the vibrant energy of the sun, it is a slight pink tinge. known as a pink full moon. Focus on the luminous light of the moon, and as you do this, the rays of pink and white energy are streaming down, and you can focus on them. As you focus on them, they extend out towards you, covering you in the energy of the moon and the pink full moon light. Take a deep breath and align yourself with this energy. Allow it to flow through you. Feel it entering your lungs and extending down to your feet, through your legs, through your back, through your chest, through your shoulders, arms and hands, up your neck, through your head, till it's extending out from you in all directions. You feel the energy grounding you to the ground beneath your feet. You feel the energy extending to all life that surrounds you. You feel your energy extending upward, connecting you to the universe and to the divine. Within this light, you are protected and safe. Within this light, you feel oneness. Oneness with the connection to your higher self and the connection of your higher self to everything around you. I'm going to bring you back now, and you will bring this energy back with you. It will remain inside you and it will emanate from you. Take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Take another deep breath. Be aware of your body in the chair. Take another deep breath. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. Hi. Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that beautiful pink moon energy tonight.
I love the moon. I'm a moon child. Very much so. I was howling at it earlier. I don't know what the neighbours think of me, but you get that.
You do. And that was thanks to my beautiful sister Marie, who reminded me, of course, that it wasn't just a full moon, because we always have the full moon over Easter because it coincides with Jesus's story. But this particular Easter, it's also a pink full moon. And when I think about really what the whole planet needs right now is that beautiful pink love energy emanating down. So right now I feel very in tune with it. So that was good.
I want to just have a chat about spiritualism and about connection and about oneness, because somehow or another, this term spiritualism has gone all airy-fairy, and I don't really do airy-fairy. I'm from Glasgow and I've got my feet firmly planted on the ground. People seem to think that it's about faffing around with crystals, waving around sage, and omming and meditating. And that's part of it. But being a spiritual person is something that you need to walk your walk, and you need to do it every single day.
Mm.
And it's about how you live. And it's one of the reasons why I pulled out of the Christian church, was because they could be okay and good on a Sunday, but the rest of the week they could be absolute ratbags, as long as they toddled along to the church on a Sunday. And that seemed to make it better. So for me, that connection to yourself, and like, you don't have a choice about being spiritual. You are. And you're doing it already. And it doesn't matter if you're a checkout chick, a nurse, a bus driver, a truckie. Every time you connect with somebody, and every time you engage with somebody, and every time you talk to somebody, you're joining with that person's energy. And that's what being spiritual is all about. That's all it's about. And it's not airy fairy. Now, also part of that is knowing who you are. And this one for me is absolutely huge. It's important that you know you have choices and that you don't live a script. I meet so many people, especially when I was in community work, that lived a script. So something had happened to them, whether it was as a child, where they were told they couldn't do stuff, they were useless, they were hopeless, they would never amount to anything, whether it was when they were an adult and they got, screwed over by relationships, whatever has happened, whether it was an accident where, you had to have surgery or something. When all of that happens, you need to take personal responsibility. It's about owning your emotions and your feelings, and actually not blaming everybody else for all the shit that happens to you. So no matter, everybody has to go through bad things. Like, life's a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up in the clouds and sometimes you're flat on the floor. And that's normal. But you do have a choice as to whether you're going to stay flat on the floor or whether you're going to put your big girl pants on, step up, step in, and deal with it, and not live that, oh, poor me, I'll never amount to anything, there's no point in trying because I'm bloody hopeless, and all that nonsense, because it's a script. And what I would really like you to think about is, how do you rewrite that story? How do you step up, step in, and get connected? And some of it's about getting connected with people who are on the same page as you. Gail has just said life lessons are important. And that's really important, Gail. When shit happens, it tends to happen for you, not to you. And again, it's how you deal with it. And all the thoughts in your head, because your mind's always busy. It's really difficult to turn it off. But the thoughts in your head are none of your business. You have a choice there too. Like, oh my goodness, I look terrible today. And then you go into this, oh, I always look terrible. Or you can look in the mirror and say, I look terrible. I'll brush my hair. I'll wash my face. I'll slap on half a ton of Revlon and I'll be fine. It's a choice. Everything's a choice. And it is. And you can choose whether you let people put you down. Like, people will say to me, you're really stupid. And I'll say to them straight back, oh, am I always stupid, or am I only stupid sometimes? Or have I just done something stupid? And they back away from the crazy lady because they don't expect a response like that. They expect you to go, oh, yes, I'm stupid. But you don't need to take on their shit. That's their stuff. And that's right, Colleen. We choose to get up,
Choose to be.
to speak up or not, and we choose to be happy. And the other
Mm-hmm.
thing that I feel in terms of being a spiritual person is about time. Everybody is so busy, but if you can take 10 minutes in a day to just plonk yourself down somewhere and connect, that's really important. Now, you can connect with the earth, you can connect with the ocean, you can connect with a flower, you can connect with a budgie, you can connect with anything that pulls you into that space of, I'm attached to this, I'm part of this great big giant, greater, amazing planet. Or you can stomp around feeling absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
Now, I was once told that I suffer from terminal happiness. Now, that's a terrible affliction. You have no idea how hard it is to be happy all the
That
time.
must be horrible, Annie.
No,
Horrible.
it's just tragic. It's awful. And this was by somebody who used to walk down the road like this every day. And I used to say, "Good morning." And she would look at me like, "What are you on, woman?" And continue stomping. And she was the one who said to me, "You just suffer from terminal happiness." And it's like shit happens to me
It's
too,
a good
trust me.
place to be. It's a good place to
Well,
be.
it's about resilience.
Yes.
And it's about, you know, getting over the bumps and getting over the obstacles. And again, really importantly, have people around you where you can say, I'm not coping today. I'm going to have a doona day. I'm going to stay in bed and I'm going to put the doona over my head and I'm going to drink coffee. And if I want to cry, I'll just cry all day. Or I'm going for a massage, or I'm going to get my nails done and not feel guilty. Because self-care and looking after yourself, you're useless to anybody else if you're not caring for you. So
Yeah.
to me, that spirituality is about sharing my energy, trying to make other people happy. Even if, like I'll walk past people in the street and I'll say to them, I love your trousers. And they go, oh, thank you. And it's like, oh, or if somebody's got, rainbow hair, I'll say to them, I love your hair. And it can change a person's day just by you
100%.
smiling at them, because your energy affects everybody else. On see, Nate, you and me, happiness branding all the time. Sucks to be happy, doesn't it? It's terrible.
It's actually physiologically as well. If you smile, it releases endorphins that actually make you feel better.
Yeah.
So it's actually almost an impossibility if you are smiling to feel bad. So I know it sounds crazy. When you're at your saddest, try smiling, try laughing. It really is the absolute best medicine for switching that energy. But something that you were saying there, Annie, and other people had mentioned as well about choose to be happy. It's
Mm,
also about our intent. Where is our focus? If our
mm,
focus is always on the worry, or we keep ourselves in that density, but if our intent is to look for the good things and
mm,
to be true to ourselves and look for the good things in ourselves as well, because we criticize our personal selves, we do that a lot, that self-talk. If we can do that, that is a connection to oneness, to yourself.
mm.
Did you want to talk a bit more about that connection?
I want to just respond to Colleen. Fake it till you make it. Now, that can be a good thing, but I've seen people on the verge of burnout faking it to try to make it. And sometimes if you're in a space, like you can't be happy all the time. Shit happens. Stuff happens to us. And like we all have to go through like grief and all sorts of different emotions. You lose your job, you lose your house, you get flooded. You can't be happy about these things. But how I manage it is I chunk it. So when something happens, I chunk it up into little bits and deal with it in baby steps, a little bit at a time. And it's also about being vulnerable for me and saying, I'm not having a good day. You know, like I might need to go home, or I might need you to take me for a cup of coffee, or I might just need you to listen to me, or I might need to go and talk to a counsellor
Yeah.
because the shit has really hit the fan.
Yeah.
And I feel admitting that, because faking it is not being authentic. You're not real. And for me, it's all about being real. But I
Yeah.
get it, Colleen, that sometimes, you know, like I've gone to work when all sorts of stuff's been happening and I've put the face on. And again, that's living the script. It's
Yeah.
the role that you're playing. So you
Yeah.
play that role while you have to,
Yep.
but strip it back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Kerrie. I started writing, and what I wrote was, the title was "Who Am I?" And for 60 odd years, I've been Margaret's daughter because my mum's a legend in her own lunchtime. And everybody over in Glasgow calls me Margaret's daughter. Then I was somebody's wife. Then I was somebody's mother. Then I was somebody's boss. And in all of that, where the hell am I? So for me, that spiritual stuff was a journey of self discovery. And let me tell you, I'm not even a quarter of the way there. I'm still grasping and taking anything I can, or trying stuff. And on that topic, Kerrie's going to talk. The beautiful Nate is online, and Kerrie and I have both just done Pelowa with Nate, and that's been part of my journey. Kerrie, do you want to tell people what it's about?
Yeah, so I wanted to do this justice, so bear with me a sec. I'm just getting up so I can talk about it properly. Colleen, I know you quite well, and you don't fake it, you faith it. And there's a difference, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I know all this is going on, but I have absolute faith that the best intent for me and for my higher good is going to work out. So I just wanted to flip that one word on you, because that's a saying, fake it till you make it. But I know you really well, and you faith it until you make it. So I just wanted to flip that word on you. Yeah, so Pelowa, wow, what an experience. Who in chat even knows anything about Pelowa? Just wondering if there's any comments. Yeah, we do now. Nate obviously does. Nate obviously does. Hi, Maya. Welcome. Okay, so Pelowa is an angelic word for radical shift in consciousness. And that's a great way to describe it, because after I did Pelowa, I, had that session with Nathan, and he was sending the Pelowa energy, healing energy. When I was asked to describe it, I could only say, wow. Right? That's all I could say, because I didn't know how to describe it at that point. And it was brought through as a tool of enlightenment. So most people would be fairly familiar with Reiki, which is a laying of hands, more of a laying of hands healing, which does clear, energetic blockages, but also on a physical level. What I can say about this is that this worked on a more spiritual, soul, higher self level, right, than that. Although I think that physical health benefits would also come out of that because of the energy level that it is. But it is really an awareness and a connection again with your higher self, or your true self, to allow you to access higher level of wisdom. But it's very personal. So just as your DNA is really just who you are, right? Your DNA is unique and it's personal to you, as personal as your fingerprint. Undertaking Pelowa, depending on what stage of your experience and your journey, depends on what that Pellower energy will connect you with as part of your higher self journey or awareness. And I'm hoping I'm explaining that properly. And Nate, please feel free to correct me in chat if there's a better way to describe that. So, you know, I think it's it is a physical healing, but I think it's also an emotional healing and a spiritual healing on that level. So I think the main thing with Pellower is not going in with an expectation of what that might be, because it is different for everyone. So Annie, did you want to discuss Pellower and what happened in your session for Pellower?
Nate gave me a call and said, I'll text you when we're ready. And it's all done distant. So all I had to do was lie down and shut my eyes. The session lasts for about an hour. Now I could feel the energy in my head. I think my head needed quite a bit of help. So there was a lot of, it was like tingling in my head. But then for me, what I was doing was I was getting waves. So it was like traveling down through my body and down to my feet and then back up again in like waves. And the strongest places I could feel it were my feet, my heart, and my head. And there were a couple of points where I wasn't even here. Like I was away with the fairies. Nate actually, and it's a really, like what Kerrie said, it's really, really hard to describe. I've had Reiki. I can do Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. But this is very, very different. It's higher frequency than Reiki, because Reiki works on your aura and on your, I don't even know what it does either. But this one was just, it took me somewhere that I've never been before. And afterwards, all sorts of, like, my whole life has changed. Literally, my whole life has changed in the past 2 weeks. And I sent a message through to Nate saying, I'm so grateful to you for what you did to me. And I said to him, this is what has happened since the session. And he said, he sent back and said, I'm just the deliverer. You actually have done it. And I sent back and said, well, it's the easiest delivery I've had since my 2 children, and it was a whole lot less painful. This is bloody marvelous. But it's really, really difficult to describe. I might as well share. So those of you who know me, I'm like 67 years old. I've moved 54 times in my 67 years. And on Sunday last week, my session with Nate was on a Tuesday. And on Sunday last week, I was sitting with my husband, and I said to him, I'm going to buy a house. And he went, okay, because he's used to me doing this stuff. Mm-hmm. And we went through a few places, and I found one that I liked. And I said to him, I'm going to do this. And he went, yeah, because he's used to me. And at 9 o'clock, when the real estate opened, I rang this lady and I said to her, what do I need to do? Because I've never bought a house. What do I need to do to make an offer on this house? And she said, oh, I'll send you through the information and blah, 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 blah. So she sent me through an email. I sent it back to her. She said, have you got a lawyer? And I said, no. And she said, you need somebody to do your conveyancing. So I looked up conveyancing in the dictionary because I didn't know what that was. And then I found out what that was. And then she said, and you need building and pests. And I said, I know about pests. I've got a few of them in my life. She said, I'll give you numbers. So at, that was at 9 o'clock. So at 10:30, she rang me and she said, your offer's been accepted. So I rang my husband, who was at work, and when the phone rang, he said, hi, baby, can I call you back? I'm actually with a client. And I said, I've bought a house, and hung up.
Life is never boring with you, Lanny. Never ever boring with you.
Click. It was so much more satisfying when you could actually put the phone down. Now all I can do is press a button. So, honestly, so he phoned me back and he said, "What do you mean you bought a house?" I said, "Bought a house." He said, "It's 11 o'clock in the morning." I said, "Mm-hmm." He said, 2 hours. I said, "Mm-hmm." He said, "How did you do it?" So I had a receipt, like a A4 piece of paper, a receipt. So that was where I'd written all the details, and everything is on
Yeah.
one A4 piece of paper. He's
Yeah.
going to frame it and put it in our new house, because that's how you use with an A4 bit of paper in 2 hours. So if anybody is looking for a house, I'm your girl. 2
Yeah.
hours, one bit of paper.
Yeah.
But to get backwards,
Mm,
I've never had the courage to do anything like that before. And I've
mhm.
always been really scared and security conscious. And with the best will in the world, and because I'm from Glasgow, on Monday morning, I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was
There you
it.
go. But
And
it's a
it
level of
just rolled.
clarity, Annie. Clear
You,
thinking. Yep.
it
That's what I
just
want. That's what I'm
all,
going to do. Yep.
yeah. And it was like dominoes. The minute I stepped into that space, it was just like, dunk, 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 dunk.
Mm.
All the little dominoes, can't even
Dominoes.
speak
Yeah.
proper England.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
dominoes just fell over.
Mm.
And again, the energy had changed so much that there
Mm.
wasn't any fear.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm going to do this. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been like that for the last 2 weeks, and my husband's terrified because he doesn't know what I'm going to do next. And neither do I. It could be anything. I'll keep you posted.
The thing with Paul is he stays in the flow, doesn't he? You know, he's just
Does he
staying
have a
in the flow.
choice?
Wherever the energy is flowing, that's where he's going. He's like a
Yeah,
boat
he
on
just
the
kind
ocean.
he just rolls with it.
Yeah.
So
Just like a
yeah,
boat on the ocean.
so my whole life's been turned upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like I say, there's been like 60 odd years of not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly the change in the energy was incredible. It was just incredible. Oh my
Look,
God.
he probably needs it after that, Nate. After that.
He needs
Probably
it because he lives with me.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh
will
dear.
offer him one night.
100% Gail. 100%. It's like a sudden, it's like a veil being lifted. It's like
Mm.
a complete clarity. And look, we're all in different parts of our spiritual journey, and Annie's connectedness already exists to a great extent, but it's another level again. And I found a very similar thing. And certainly, Annie, you're talking about connecting with your higher self and connecting with that authenticity of who you are, and just sort of stepping back and sort of saying, this is where my energy fits and I'm comfortable with my energy. So that was very much where you were. Did you have anything else you wanted to share about that? Or okay, so mine was similar in that, yes, it was a connection to definitely your higher self, definitely that spiritual soul energy, which is a level of oneness. So that oneness with yourself is accepting your authentic self and allowing your higher self to shine, right, or to come through. So there's that level of oneness. Then there's a level of oneness where Annie and I at times can finish each other's sentences, or we'll both be doing the same thing at exactly the same time and say, guess what I did? Same thing I did. That's a different level of oneness where you're on a same vibrational level. And so you attract in like vibration. That's another level of oneness. For me, Palawa, and look, I'm going to do my best to describe it because, as I said afterwards, all I could say was wow. I could feel the energy straight away. So it was the same thing. Nathan spoke to me beforehand, said, "Let me know, send me a text when you're ready," and he said, "Starting now." And so I was just relaxing through it. So you go wherever you need to go, and I could feel the energy surrounding me, and then I felt every. Now this is going to sound strange, but it's the best way that I can describe it. There's a density to our physical body, right? But we are all atoms. We're made up of atoms that are vibrating at a really high rate. I became aware of every single atom that were linked together to give my physical body form or density. I became aware of every atom. And all of those atoms were vibrating. And as I felt the energy move through me, I became aware that some atoms were vibrating at what I would say would be my normal state, but some areas of my body or some atoms that I could feel were not quite at that vibration. And that's where I felt the energy being directed to. And as the energy moved on, those atoms began or were then vibrating in the same vibration as the other atoms around them. It was incredible. It was a real realization that we are pure energy. And in the middle of that energy, I could feel my breath almost like a light in the middle that was attracting all those atoms to it and holding my physical body together. And in that moment, I could feel the energy of other things around me. So to me, that was like a oneness with the color that vibrates at a certain level, which that vibration level allows us to see that color. I could feel that. And then not only could I feel it, I started to hear it. It had a music to it. And the music was like angels singing. Like it was a really harmonic, beautiful, high level vibration. So I could feel the atoms, I could see the sparks of energy within those atoms, and I could hear it at the same time. And there were some personal moments in there for me where I realized that in that, how my energy is what I'm projecting outwards, and how you see me, but there's still a connectedness to everything else at the same time. So the oneness for me was also about connecting with my higher self and realizing that my energy, my atoms, my density, my vibration, while unique, contributed and reacted and connected with the whole. And I don't know any other way to describe it but that. And I actually said to Annie, I wonder if I was vibrating so high that you couldn't even see me anymore. So if for those of you who have read Celestine Prophecy or the 12th Insight, there's a point where everyone reaches a like a oneness where they are connected with each other, and they can communicate basically almost telepathically because of the transference of energy. And in doing that, they're raising each other up, and they were being chased, but the people chasing them were of a lower vibration, and even though they were there, they couldn't see them. And I said, I wonder if I could even be seen, Annie, at that point. Like, I wonder if
I told her not to do it tonight. I just don't want, if she disappears, you'll know her atoms are all going places without her.
Crazy thought, but it's the whole thing of, well, energy is never destroyed. It only ever changes form from one thing to another. So, and there were some personal growth messages in there for me as well. But I think the resonating thing to share with everyone is that connection to higher self and a knowing of how your vibration connects with the rest of the vibrations in the entire universe. And that's how I felt. So that's all I can explain with it.
Kerrie, where are you? Where have you gone?
That's it.
She's a vampire, Nate. You can't see her. She's just
Well,
disappeared off the planet.
and he said, luckily a big wind didn't come up and just blow all your atoms all over the room. You would have had a hard time pulling them all back together.
Yeah. I said to her, don't let Matt anywhere near you with the vacuum. You're in dead trouble if that happens.
So, and coming back to, I knew when the session or when that intense energy had stopped being sent, because the energy still continues for a while afterwards, but it wasn't as intense. And I knew it when I could start to feel a density back in my body. That's the only way I could describe it. I could feel like the atoms becoming denser in this astral plane, or this where we are in this level. So there you go.
I think what you said at the beginning is really, really important too. Nate had difficulty also explaining how it works and what it does, because it works differently for every single person.
Correct.
And it's kind of like, it's like you take from it what you need. I think that's the best way to describe it. So it kind of depends on where you're at. You know, in terms of spirituality, I'm baby steps, you know.
Yes.
Like I've been, it's always baby steps. And every time you take another step, it's another baby step. But hand on heart, this one felt like a giant leap for me. And again, should you choose to have a go at this, no expectation, because what happened for me, what happened for Kerrie, and what happened to anybody else, it's a very personal journey.
Absolutely.
Like Reiki, they will say, oh, we can align your chakras, or we can, you know, do this. Or if you've got pain, they can focus on where the physical pain is, and the healing will take the pain away from your hip or your shoulder. Whereas my feeling around the Peloa, and the only thing I know about it is that I've had it, is that it's not so much about taking, it's about getting what you need. And then just rolling with it.
Yeah. Just allowing that flow.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, Nate. Thank you. It's a direct connection to the divine, which is oneness. Absolutely. And speaking of chance or coincidence, and I don't believe in either of those. Synchronicity is when something is so profound it's beyond chance. So I'm now going to say this is synchronicity. After Annie and I did the Uluru solstice meditation, which was December when we did that, we put out a schedule of fortnightly what our topics will be, taking you through 12 insights of that spiritual journey. And it is a personal journey, and what you take from each of those steps is very personal. On our schedule for this week was the topic of oneness. And only recently had Nate reached out to firstly Annie and then myself to say, hey, can you do this Peloa? Would you like to do this Peloa that I've been training in? And that then aligned perfectly with the week that we were doing oneness. And I go, oh, yeah, well, that didn't happen by chance. That didn't happen by chance, you know. So again, the synchronicity, putting the intent out there, the right thing coming at the same time, how those energies work together, and then your very unique and personal connection with the divine, with the energy, with what you need, which may just be a clearing of some emotional blockages. It may be, you know, feeling that connection and oneness to a greater extent with the universe. It can be looking at things through a different perception or a different lens, because you need to connect differently and not have things trigger you as much. And in and I didn't know a great deal about this. I mean, obviously Reiki, and I do laying of hands healing, but Palo I hadn't heard a lot about. And in looking at it, it's actually part of Indigenous healing as well. So I believe Mayans did something similar along with our Indigenous First Australians. And in their culture, you also see that connectedness to the earth, to the seasons, to the animals, to each other, to the universe. So again, it brings in that divine connectedness and a higher how your unique energy both mixes and contributes to the whole. So hopefully, and it is very, very different for everyone. Are you keeping up with the bubbles, Annie? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nate said we were his guinea pigs. Nate has also, I've put up that our readings were like the push to make him go. And I've just sent back to him saying, bless you. But sometimes it's about timing.
Yes.
And it's about you being in the right headspace to either go and do it or to accept it. And it's very much about timing. And,
It
you know,
is.
you can do all sorts of stuff with all sorts of people. You know, if you think about counselors, they can talk to you till they're purple. And if you're not prepared to actually do the steps, do the hard yards, you're never going to get better. It's that victim, I'm just going to sit here and be miserable mode.
Yeah.
You've got to be ready to step up and step in. So Nate at that point was ready to step up and step in, you know. And thank you for giving us some credit, but the credit is all yours.
And
You know?
if you think about universal exchange, and oneness is that exchange, so you're lifting each other to the next level. So whilst, Nate, we may have helped you have more trust in yourself from what we said, which is great. Hopefully we contributed to your journey that way, and thank you for that comment. But at the same time, you just then gave us back. So here's the exchange of energy, this most incredible experience which fit with us at the right time in our journey too. So when you think big picture and synchronicity and oneness, that's exactly how it works. Is that flow where energetically you're giving to each other, and it's a giving, not a taking.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a big thing as well. It's a giving, but there always needs to be some equal exchange on some level. You know, there ends up being an equal exchange.
Can I kick in on Daniel's comment? My sister came out here many years ago, and we went to Byron Bay. She thought she'd died and gone to heaven, which is pretty close. And we were in a shop down there, and a young man came in and picked up the didgeridoo, and he just played a couple of notes on it. I think he was going to buy one, but he was testing them out. And I just went over to him and I said, excuse me, but my sister is here from Scotland and she's never heard anybody play the didgeridoo. Would you mind playing it? So my sister at that time had just had a double mastectomy and had just survived chemotherapy and was in recovery. And this young man took his didgeridoo, and Moira was standing with her eyes shut, and he played the didge up the front of her body and round her and down the back of her body. And I've never seen my sister so still. She stood there and she was swaying. And when he finished, I had her by the shoulders by then because she was literally swaying. And he said to her, "You've been sick. That was healing." I've never been so grateful, like honestly. What that young man did for her was just incredible. And that didgeridoo sound, it can, like for me, it resonates through my whole body. And the vibration, again, we're back to vibration. For me, it's like the sound of the earth. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's how it
and
feels.
the universe and the stars and the planet and it's the vibration of all of that, and it's all a harmony.
Yeah,
It's all in harmony. It's mind blowing,
it is mind blowing. Yeah,
mind blowing, and it's beautiful.
yeah. So now, Kerrie, do you want to talk about Mr. Nate again?
I do actually. Look, one of these days we are going to convince him to come on and talk to everyone and answer your questions directly, but maybe not just yet. But look, if you are interested in the Palawa and you would like to give it a go, you can reach out to Nate. He's in our chat now, so it's Nate Miko. If you send him a direct message through Messenger and reach out to him, you can chat with him about discussing the Palawa and maybe scheduling a time to have him perform the Palawa on you. It is done by distance, so it doesn't matter where you are for that. And if you mention Celtic Tarot, or if you mention harmony for tranquility, is it Celtic or Celtic? I'm going to get in trouble.
Please say Celtic.
Celtic. I'm going to get in trouble. I knew I was going to get in trouble. I knew I was going to get in trouble. Celtic Tarot or harmony for tranquility, you'll get $20 off the Palawa treatment, Palawa healing treatment. So please reach out to him. He is absolutely awesome. And he'd love to hear from you guys. And we'd love to hear afterwards if you're in chat, or just send us a comment on either of our Facebook pages or a message and let us know, have you booked in and how did you feel, and let us know how you go, see how your experience is as well, because it'll be totally unique and tailored to you by the universe. How special is that?
Daniel, it's synchronicity. Like, you can't make this shit up, can you? It's just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yes, you go, Nate. Celtic is a football team. Celtic is me.
That's why I get in trouble. It's because I think it's a Rod Stewart song. Celtic.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Sadly, I'm a Rangers supporter, so you've got the entire wrong end of that.
No.
Please don't say Celtic. My father would be rolling over in his grave if I called myself Celtic.
Oh boy. So do you realise we've been talking and it's like sort of 5 minutes left?
I know.
Oh my goodness. It goes by quickly. Yes, I think we're so passionate sometimes about what we're talking about that the time just flies by. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. You're welcome, Mr. Nate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a
So,
pleasure.
did anyone have any pressing questions that they'd really like us to draw a card on or anything today? Or would you like us to just leave you in this beautiful Palawa energy? Keep that beautiful pink light energy inside you. It'll stay with you for several days. Hold that within you. Lovely energy. It did. It went really quickly, Gail. It went really quickly.
Oh,
I know.
there we go.
I too fast.
Oh, we both clicked on it.
We both clicked on it. There you go. I'll let you do it. He is awesome. He's glorious, as Annie would say.
Oh, don't you steal my words, you naughty woman.
I'm not allowed to use that.
Glorious.
He's glorious.
Yes.
So
Actually,
yes, I can reach out.
He's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, there you go.
So there, I couldn't write that down.
There's no bigger word I could come up with. Yeah.
Cole wants a card.
No, Cole would like a card. There you go.
Let's see what happens, Miss Colleen. Ooh. Adventure. Now, in terms of what we've been talking about, you want to do the Palawa session. Maybe that's the start of a new adventure for you. If you look at all the colors that are surrounding that. that could be a big adventure for you. So good luck with that. Denise wants a card, Kerrie. Have you got cards?
I do. Okay. Card for Denise. Oh, look at this. Now, hopefully you can see that. It says feeling the world. So, Denise, you are definitely feeling the connection to everything that's going on around you right now. That is awesome. Don't let it be too overwhelming for you. It's almost like they're wanting you to say you are feeling the world and you're feeling the love for the world, but you are also grieving for some things that are happening that you see, injustice, etc. They're asking you to take a step back, and yes, it's playing out in front of you, but now they're bringing me back to what Colleen talked about earlier, and that is faith it. They want you to faith it. Okay. So, but you're also sending this most beautiful energy, loving energy out to the world at this time as well. Also, allow that energy to surround you and keep you in a high energy space as well.
Daniel, I've pulled a card for you. It's actually one of my favorites. It's the Rebel. Um, because of what you do and where you work and all that kind of stuff, I just think every now and again you need to channel that inner rebel. But don't call your mother at 4 o'clock 2 o'clock in the morning and ask her to come and rescue you when you're being rebellious. Thank you very much. But I think for you, this card's about sometimes you need to just let it go. Just let it go and channel that inner rebel. I think sometimes that the energy around this is that there are times when you feel like you would just like to have a tantrum like a 3-year-old, knock your socks off, lie on the floor, kick your heels, and just scream. You don't have to be Mr. Sensible.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Maria wanted one as well. Maria, what I pulled for you was life purpose. And this is about as above, so below.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that sometimes you're a bit lost. And this card is just saying, find something that fulfills you. Find something that you can do that just for you, that makes you feel better and really good. But not for anybody else, just for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Shell.
Nice to see you, Shell. Now we do have one here from Talika. Talika, when it comes to really personal things, we just do very general one card direction here, more than anything else. So I will pull a card for you, but what I'd recommend is that perhaps you get in touch with Annie for a full reading. That way you can go into more personal detail. What we don't like to do is go into personal detail when it's on a recording and it's up there on our live forever. So, but I will pull a card for you. Don't know if you can read what that says, but it actually says great big love. So, in a way, there is an answer there to the question that you actually asked. But there's also a secondary card that stuck with it at the same time, which was why I was looking down, because I was both there. I wanted to make sure I had the one first. So that one is Big Love. And this one is Exposed and Revealed. So you may either be hiding your own emotions, or the person that you're talking about could be hiding their emotions, or not. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Or not be able to easily express those emotions. And there will be some truths that you will need to listen to, some compromises and things to see whether or not that is really where you want to be in that relationship. So there is big love there, but there's also going to be compromise and things that need to be accepted around maybe not a great deal of open feeling communication within that relationship. And of course, you always have choice. So I'll leave that one with you.
Gail, you asked how you can increase your energy and discover how to embrace it. And the card I pulled for you is courage. Sometimes, either consciously or subconsciously, people are frightened of stepping into this because sometimes maybe they're not sure where they're going with it or what will happen. Because I actually do know you, you are, well, I don't know you very well, but I have met you a couple of times. Your energy is much stronger, and your psychic skills are way higher than you think they are. And I think this card is talking about the best way for you to do that and embrace it is trust yourself, because you are incredible, absolutely incredible. Like, you have amazing insight. It's just about speak with confidence. That's what I do. Sound like you know what you're doing. That's all you need to do. Because the minute you start to doubt, the energy wobbles. So just trust and courage for you. But you don't need to do anything. You're already doing it very well. So there you go, my lovely.
Perfect.
So I think we may.
I think we're sort of done, but I'll just leave on this note. Thank you, Nate. Yeah, a lovely way, and I really enjoyed it too. Lovely way to spend Easter Sunday, chatting with everyone on here tonight. You're right, there are so many ways to experience oneness, 100%, and it can only lead to happiness. Appreciate you thanking us for lifting the energy for the world, but also to everyone that's on here, because as we talked about that equal exchange, the exchange within chat and the exchange with each other, and the connection that we all share while we're doing this is just, a beautiful thing, and helps raise that energy as well. So that's all of us contributing to that, and it does help open all of us up to a deeper connection. And Annie and I learn from these nights as well. Sometimes spirit just comes through, and what comes out and what we're inspired to say is purely over to them. So
thank you, everybody. Go and eat lots of chocolate.
Yes, be good, and enjoy your next day off tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Good night, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Bye.